Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Bim, bam, bim, 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 bam. Bim, 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 bam. Bim, bam, bim, 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 bam. Bim, 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 bam. We would like to invite Elizabeth Beckloff to join us on the bima and lead us in the lighting of the candles. Yep. Big one.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, now we can turn to page 10 for Maya Fe Hayom. Maya Fe Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Maya Fe Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Maya Fe Hayom. Shabbat Shalom. Maya Fe Hayom. Shabbat Shalom. Okay, and now we can turn to page 14 for our responsive reading. Sing to Adonai a new song. Sing to Adonai all the earth. Sing to Adonai and bless God's name. Proclaim God's victory day after day. Tell of God's glory among the nations, God's wondrous deeds among all peoples, for Adonai is great and much acclaimed. God is held in awe by all divine beings. All the gods of the peoples are mere idols, but Adonai made the heavens. Glory and majesty are before God. Strength and splendor are in God's temple. Let the heavens rejoice and the earth exult. Let the sea and all within it thunder. The fields and everything in them exult. Then shall all the trees of the forest shout for joy at the presence of Adonai, for God is coming. For God is coming to rule the earth. God will rule the world justly, and his people in faithfulness.
I hate this thing. All right? I'm getting there, guys. If you'll turn to page 20, verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. Sharon, you want to help out here?
We're doing something a little different this evening. When we get to verse 9, for those who wish to stand, please feel to do so. If you feel you don't want to stand, it's an option this evening. Feel free to either stand or not stand, depending on how you feel.
Hadoti likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat mikabela, Hadoti likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat mikabela. Hadoti likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat mikabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, Yishmi'anu elomet echad, Adonai echad, Yishmo echad, L'shem Tiferet v'letihila. Lecha dodi, lecha dodi l'kra kala, b'nei Shabbat mikabela. Hadoti likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat mikabela. Likrat Shabbat v'nechu b'necha, Hi mikor habrachat, mehirosh mikedem sukkah, sof ma'azeh b'ma'ashat vila. Lecha dodi, lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat mikabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat mikabela. Hitoreri, kiva orek umeuri, uri, shedaberi, kevod Eloi lahakipniva. Lecha dodi, lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat mikabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat mikabela. Holy v'shalom ha'taragala, gam b'simcha u'sola, tokemune am segula, segula b'ho'ikala. Lecha dodi, lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat mikabela. Likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat mikabela. You want bunches chant here since everybody knows.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
We'll get this right by the end.
Okay, now we can turn to page 26 for the Hatsi Kaddish. Yitgada Shemei Rabbah, Yamad Yivrachute, V'yamik Malchute, Ben Chayekom Uvyomekom, Uvhayedeko Beit Yisrael, Bagala, Uvizman Karev, Ve'yimaru Amen, Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevarach, Le'alam Le'omaya, Yitparah, Yitzvash, V'yipar, V'yitroman, V'yitnaseh, V'yitkadar, V'yithaleh, V'yithalal, Shemei D'Kedusha B'rihu, Le'elah Minko Birchata V'shirata, Tushbechata V'nechemata, Ta'amiran Ve'yimaru.
I think so. Page 27. Teach me, O God, a blessing, a prayer on the mystery of a withered leaf, on ripened fruit so fair, on the freedom to see, to sense, to breathe, to know, to hope, to despair. Teach my lips a blessing, a hymn of praise, as each morning and night you renew your days. Lest my day be today as the day before, less routine set my ways. Entrances to holiness are everywhere. The possibility of ascent is at all times, even in unlikely places and through even at unlikely times and through unlikely places. There is no place on earth without presence.
Okay, we will continue with the Baruch on page 146. Yeah. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Baruch Hu es Adonai HaMevorach.
Let's continue on page 148. And let's read responsively. In each age, we receive and transmit Torah. At each moment, we are addressed by the world. In each age, we are challenged by our ancient teaching. In each moment, we stand face to face with truth. In each age, we add our wisdom to that which has gone before. At each moment, the knowing heart is filled with wonder. In each age, the children of Torah become as builders, who seek to set the world on foundation. Adonai, Amo Yisrael.
Okay, now we'll continue with the Shema into the Ve'ahavta. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Yevod Malchuto, Le'olam Vaed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, B'chol levecha, ובכל נפשך, ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה, אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך.
That's the part you can do. We were trying to figure out which parts her congregation does and doesn't do. So we'll get it better next time.
Yeah.
Next week, did you know? Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, Sam needs to see it. Sam's desperate.
Okay, let's continue by reading responsibly. On page 151. We worship the power that unites the universe, a promise of harmony for all.
Yet then,
The world around us. Before our eyes there is a vision of perfection, order, and goodness. There is evil enough to break the heart, and is good enough to exalt the soul. When will redemption come? When we grant everyone who claim for ourselves. Long ago we escaped the tyranny of Egypt. Our people saw the power of the Most High.
We learn God's presence redeems time and end, so we celebrate His power and His victory.
Mi chamocha b'Elohim Adonai, mi chamocha neheta b'kodesh. Nora tehilot, oseh feleh, nora tehilot, oseh feleh. Mahudecha, mahuvanecha, bochei yom livnei Moshe Miriam. Zeri, anu ve'anu, Adonai Imod, Adonai Imod, le'olam va'ed.
Please read with me on page 153. Give us a place to rest, O God. Shelter us in the long, soft evening shadows of your truth. For our true protection and safety, in your presence we find love and acceptance. Watch over us as we go forward. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, Haporei Sukkot Shalom Aleinu, Yakol Amo Yisrael, Ba'al Yerushalayim.
Will you join us with Vishamru? Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורות המריד עולם. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורות המריד עולם. B'nei Yisrael, ohi le'olam, ohi le'olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורות המריד עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות המריד עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות המריד עולם.
Okay, now if you can all please stand for the Amidah. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elokei Avoteinu v'Imotenu, Elokei Abraham, Elokei Yitzchak, v'Elokei Yaakov, Elokei Sarah, Elokei Rivka, Elokei Rachel, v'Elokei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor, v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, v'Konei Hakol, v'Zocher Hasdei, Avot Beimachot, U'Mavi Geula Livnei B'neihem, Laman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Hozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai.
I think we have something here that we added and it's not in the book. Okay, moving right along.
Yes, actually, let's do it. Tell you what we did.
Okay,
Okay,
you want to do that?
sure.
Go.
Thanks.
Page 157.
Please read responsibly for me at 157 and 158. We pray that we may know before whom we stand, the power whose gift is life, who quickens those who have forgotten how to live, having implanted within us eternal spirit. We pray for love to encompass us for no reason save that we are human, that we may blossom into persons who have gained power over our own lives. It is life, whose cleansing rains let hearts men and women rise again. Baruch atah Adonai HaKol.
Now we found the prayer we wanted, which is page 160. May these work together. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may all live that this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. And we turn to page 1 something. 4 with Sholom Rav. Yeah, 164.
164.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tazim Le'olam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tazim Le'olam. Ki atahu melech Adon L'chol HaShalom. Ki atahu melech Adon L'chol HaShalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tazim Le'olam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tazim Le'olam. V'tov b'einecha levaret et Amcha Yisrael b'chol eil u'b'chol shah b'shlomecha. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tazim Le'olam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tazim Le'olam. Tazim Le'olam. Tazim Le'olam. And if you'll join me in one of my favorite prayers, grant us peace, just below that. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of our world. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Adonai, who blesses your people with peace.
Please be seated and take a moment for personal and private prayer or reflection. Say,
Say shalom Irama, Uya say shalom Aleinu, Le'yakov Yisrael, Imru Amen. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Le'yakov Yisrael, Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, Shalom Aleinu, V'Yakov Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, Shalom Aleinu, V'Yakov Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, Shalom Aleinu, V'Yakov Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Yaakov Yisrael.
Okay, now if we can turn to page 258 as we pray for our country and for the state of Israel. O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of creation and alert to the care of the earth. May we never be lazy in the work of peace. May we honor those who have died in defense of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they govern with justice and compassion. Help us all to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we may serve you. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and our country be sound in body and spirit. Amen. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. May those who love you prosper. O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there.
At this time of the service, we recall those of our friends and congregations who are in need of our support and prayers for their healing. And tonight we especially think Lucy Karen, Kenny Elliott, Norma Gerstel, Margaret Amelia Lamb, Barb Spiro, and of course to Perry Singer, who is recovering from major surgery up in Chicago. And I know he would appreciate hearing from all of us for good wishes and cards, just to know that we are thinking, that we know that he knows that we're thinking of him. So if you have a moment, either through the Federation or the Temple office, just to send him a note to say we are thinking about you and we're praying for your health to be restored as quickly as possible. And on page 250, is there anyone else in the congregation?
John Schwartz.
Okay. Elizabeth?
Tyler Monhall.
Harvey?
Elaine Jones.
Barb?
Lynn Swan and Dee Lennox.
Anyone else?
Can't hear.
Is
Put
it?
the mic in front of you, please.
Step in front of it.
Is there anyone else that you'd like? Yes. No. Okay. Well, I was yes. All right.
Can't hear.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Page 253. Tonight's Torah portion is Salach Lacha, comes from the book of Numbers 13:1 to 15:41. And this particular portion has lots of different stories to it. And I went to two sources. My Jewish Learning, thank you, Bob, and URJ for their commentaries on tonight. And actually outside in the credenza, I had printed off, or actually Julie had printed off, what I had found, and I thought maybe we could have a discussion, but I forgot to tell people to pick it up. So it's sitting out there if you'd like to pick it up and read it. They're interesting. What I'm going to read tonight is the selection from the URJ. It was written by Rabbi Leah Berkowitz, and it's called Patience Grasshopper. Patience Grasshopper. My dad said this so often when I was growing up, I didn't realize it was a quote from a 1970s television show, Kung Fu. Can everyone hear me? Until I was in my 30s. From what I can gather, these words served as a warning from master to student. Think things through, have faith in the process, and wait for the right moment. I always think of these words when we reach this week's Torah portion. God told Moses to send 12 spies into the promised land. After 40 days, the spies brought back a bunch of grapes so large that it needed to be carried by 2 people. 10 of the spies confirmed that the land indeed flowed with milk and honey, but added that the cities were fortified and filled with enemy combatants. The 2 remaining spies, Joshua and Caleb, encouraged the people to focus on the positive. Caleb said, "Let us by all means go up, and we shall gain possession of it, for we shall surely overcome it." The first 10 spies then escalated the negativity of their report, calling the people of the land Anshi Medot, people of great size, B'nai Anak, giants, and Nephilim, referring to the giant creatures who existed in the days before the flood. In a final blow to the Israelite psyche, they said, "We looked like grasshoppers to ourselves, and so we must have looked how we looked to them." We've established that the Israelites didn't handle uncertainty very well. Faced with the question of what to focus on, the giant grapes or the giant people, the Israelites chose the latter. Even though the grapes were right in front of them, they broke into weeping and wailing. Their begging to return to Egypt reached a fever pitch. The Israelites were plagued by what Dr. Aviva Zornberg called a grasshopper sense of self. Suddenly they felt small and insignificant. They certainly that they would be unable to conquer the land became a self-fulfilling prophecy. Joshua and Caleb attempted to assuage the Israelites' fears, highlighting the land's good qualities and reminding the Israelites that God was with them. Rather than embrace this cautious optimism, the Israelites threatened to stone the pair. God was prepared to destroy the Israelites and start over until Moses intervened on their behalf. This parsha marks a significant turning point in the story. Previously, even when God threatened to destroy the entire people when they sinned, only a subset of the population ultimately faced consequences. This, not after the sin of the golden calf, was when God decided that the people would wander until their entire generation died out. Their children who had not experienced slavery would inherit the promised land. But of this generation, only Joshua and Caleb would live to see it. Why was this moment that the first generation lost their chance to enter the promised land? After all, God instructed Moses to send spies into the promised land. The spies were responding to questions posed by Moses himself. Are the people strong or weak? Few or many? Is the country good or bad? Are the towns open or fortified? The spies did exactly as Moses had asked. However, their message was sowed panic among the Israelites. Recently, a bar mitzvah student looked at the spies' reports and asked, why did the 10 spies lie? Looking at the context, with its hyperbolic talk of giants and grasshoppers, a better word might be exaggerated. The Hebrew word used for scout reports is dibah, meaning whispering, defamation, evil report. Meaning that while the tone of the report was negative, it wasn't necessarily untrue. The scouts weren't making things up to discourage the Israelites. Rather, they drew the worst possible conclusion from the facts on the ground. One midrash suggests that it is understandable that the Israelites looked like grasshoppers to themselves. What is unforgivable in God's eyes was their addition of, "so we must have looked that to them." The rabbis imagined God asking, "How do you know what I made you look like in their eyes? How did you know that you didn't look like angels to them?" It would be unforgivable if the Israelites felt small and afraid. It was their lack of faith in God and in themselves to overcome this feeling that ultimately sealed their fate. It is equally important that Caleb and Joshua weren't unrealistic about the challenges of the Promised Land. Rather, they told the Israelites that it was possible to move forward anyway. They did not say this would be easy, but they said it was worth it. In any situation, it is important to see both the possibilities and the challenges that lay ahead. Had the 12 spies worked together to relay their feelings, they might have been able to address the tactical challenges of conquering the land while acknowledging the concerns of the people who were trying to push forward. Cantor Joseph Wolf writes, "As long as we see ourselves merely as grasshoppers up against giants, we will set ourselves up for failure. If we want to create anything new and enter the promised land, then we have no choice but to leap into the unknown, to believe in ourselves and trust in God's faith in us." Caleb begins his charge to the people with Alo Ma'aleh, "Let us surely go up." Those of us in positions of communal leadership today might ask, what does it mean for us to go up? It means moving confidently but patiently toward our destination, acknowledging that we carry with us our vision of the future, our memories of the past, and the very emotions that occupy our present, fear, anxiety, curiosity, excitement, and hope. Shabbat Shalom. The other article out there, the title is "The Perils of Group Think," and that was written by an Orthodox rabbi, and that is also out there. I take both of them out there. They're plenty of Julie made copies, and they're both very interesting to read. I just happen to prefer the first one over the second one. But there was a vote in court, naturally because of Jews in the house, we all had different ideas. But thank you. We will continue with Aleinu on page 283. Please rise.
Aleinu l'shakbeach l'adon ha'kol, l'teiz k'tuva l'seh breshit, shelo asanu l'der haratzot, velo shamanu rishbot ha'adama, shelo samchaneinu ganem, k'ror aleinu k'chol ha'monam. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והי אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא.
Sam, do you have any announcements? Are there any announcements?
Let me announce something. stand on this?
Yeah, please.
We need lay people to do services. We need somebody next week. And we've had some people be very kind. Bob and Sharon, Bob and Natalie, the Stones. We still need somebody to fill in for next week. And I will send out an email encouraging people to volunteer for this. And I just want you to know that our talks with this possible rabbi are going very well, so we may have him very soon. No guarantees, but it's very positive, so.
Yeah, I know.
Okay?
All right. Trying to get rid
No. You can do services next week. Sharon's got a whole grid that you can follow.
What's that?
Sharon's got a whole grid for anybody who needs it, of what to follow and what page and whatever, so you
All
don't
right,
have to
very good.
do it. It's not that hard. Anybody? Somebody gonna put Sam out of his misery? Oh, wait.
No, just next Friday, another one down Friday.
Oh, geez, Brent. I thought you were offering to do the services.
I'm out of town.
Okay.
You could phone it.
Don't forget the wine before. We had a great time with the wine. It was great. And so, what?
And they're doing a service.
Yes,
They are doing a service. And that might be the only, no. All right. Robert?
Page 295. As the name of your loved one is read, please feel free to rise, and at the end of the list, we will all stand together for the recitation of Kaddish. We think of our loved ones who have died, recently taken from us, those who died in this season in years past, and those we have taken into our hearts with our own. On this Shabbat, we recall Larry Berlin, the brother of Arlene Berwin, Barry Roth, the brother of Bob Roth, Pearl Bella Davis, the mother of Terry Benson and mother-in-law of Fred Benson, Lindsay Michelle Lippa, niece of Sherry and Wayne Worker, Keith Kelly, husband of Rona Kelly, Edith Levin, cousin of Sherry and Wayne Worker, Judy Foster, mother of Eric Foster and mother-in-law of April Foster, Elizabeth Turk, mother of Amber Myers, Michael Falk, brother of Lori Barnum, and Daniel Ballin, nephew of Joel and Joni Abramowitz. And in prior years, we recall Robert Cole, Estelle Kaminsky, James Lowenstein, Lonnie Mendelson, Goldie Morse, Polly Myers, Edith Myers, Isidore Preystein, Yetta Ringler, Reuben Roberts, Aaron Salzenstein, Deanne Norman Voss, Morris Wagner, and Ethel Mendeloff. Please rise. Yikadal v'yikadash shalei rabah, yomad yiraku b'tei v'yamik mal b'tei, v'chayek kom v'yamekon, v'chayek v'kol beit Yisrael, v'agalah v'rizman kari v'yimru amen. Yehi shenei rabban v'barak v'yam omen maya, Yitbarak v'yishtabat, Yitba'ar v'yitmamam v'yitnaseh, Yitadar v'yitalel v'yitalal shemei v'yishar v'yikur, Yalin kol yirkata v'shirata, Tushbakata v'nechamata, Damirom yomam v'yimru amen. Yehi shlom rabban v'shemayim v'chayim, Yelenu v'yakol Yisrael v'yiru amen. Sasei shalom v'romav, V'yasei shalom, Yelenu v'yakol Yisrael v'yiru.
I want to take this opportunity to thank the Mendeloffs for what I heard is a really yummy Onik Shabbat. And the wine twins back there, Brent and Renee, thank you. If you haven't joined us, please come and join us next week or the following weeks. Following week especially, because we're going to be wining together, and you can spell that any way you want. And believe it or not, we're at our end, so I'd like you to join us with Hine Matov on page 10. matov u'manayim, Shabbat Ahinam Yad. Hine matov u'manayim, Shabbat Ahinam Yad. Hine matov, Shabbat Ahinam Yad. Hine matov, Shabbat Ahinam Yad. Hine matov u'manayim, Shabbat Ahinam Yad. Hine matov u'manayim, Shabbat Ahinam Yad. Hine matov u'manayim, Shabbat Ahinam Yad. Hine matov, la 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 la. Hine matov, la 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 la. Hine matov u'manayim, la 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 la. Hine matov u'manayim, Shabbat Ahinam Yad. How good and how pleasant it is when brothers and sisters dwell together. Tirza, just remember you did it here first.
I will.
Your family of Springfield will be with you in California. You did a great job. Thank you so much.